Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a pretty exciting video because OHUHU has just released a brand new set of colored pencils. Now, if you're familiar with OHUHU, you know that they are very popular for their huge sets of alcohol markers. They also have quite a bit of other different types of markers, acrylic markers, water-based markers, but now they have colored pencils. So I'm super excited about this. They did send me this set so that I can share them with all of you. So I'm really excited to get these open, check out all the colors, swatch them, and test these out. So they do come in this really nice tin. It says OHUHU, I think I'm pronouncing that right, oil-based colored pencils. You get 72 colors. It says down here that they are light, fast, and waterproof, rich saturated pigments, soft and thick lead, easily blending and coloring for artists. And it has some beautiful artwork here on the tin. And then it shows a swatch of all of the colors that you're gonna get. And it does look like they have numbers. I'm wondering if they have names. We will find out as soon as we get this open and check out the pencils. So let's go ahead and do that now. And for the best part, let's go ahead and take the lid off. Oh my goodness, I could smell the wood. So exciting, brand new pencils. Oh, so they give you a swatch chart. Maybe I'll use this swatch chart to swatch them out, or maybe I'll use my own. I don't know, we'll see. So it does come with a user manual like all other OHUHU products, and it basically just gives you all the same information that we already read on the tin over here. It shows you the features of the pencils, and then if I turn it over, there is another swatch of the colored pencils. Now always keep in mind that when you have a digital swatch like this, it's not always going to be the same as the color that comes out of the pencil. So do always swatch out your colors. It makes it a lot easier when you are getting ready to choose your colors for your coloring pages. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first tray. I'll hold it a little bit closer so that you could see the gorgeous colors. We've got some yellows, some oranges, reds, pinks, purples, blues, and then we've got some teals. Let's go ahead and take out the second tray so we could take a look at this one. So we've got some greens, our tans, browns, and a couple beige type colors. We've got our grays, lighter grays, darker grays, and then we have our black, our gold, our silver, and our white. Now immediately I'm already noticing that we do have names on the pencils. This one says red violet, so I'm super happy about that. So we do have the name and the number. The pencils have a colored barrel. They do have a gold dip tip, which is really, really pretty. And then if we turn it around to the other side, it says OHUHU, which is the name of the pencils. Now here is the tip of the pencil, and I'll turn it this way so that you can see. The pencils do all have a flat tip on them. The companies like to do that so that the pencils are protected while they're being shipped to you. Do make sure that you sharpen all of your pencils before you use them in your coloring book. They do contain a wax film on the leads, and you want to make sure that you do sharpen them so that that is removed, and that will give you the absolute best results in your coloring books or whatever it is that you're working on. So we are going to go ahead and test these pencils in the pencil sharpener. So I have my Jarlink and my Doll 133. Most of you know these are my two most favorite pencil sharpeners. The Jarlink is my absolute favorite electric pencil sharpener. Unfortunately, they don't make it anymore. I am currently looking for another replacement to be able to recommend to you all that does have the feature where it is rechargeable, because that is the one feature that a lot of other electric pencil sharpeners do not have. And then the Doll, I like to test the pencils out in this pencil sharpener because I could put the pencil in here and I'm able to tell whether the wood of the pencil is a harder wood, a softer wood. If I were to take something like a Crayola, which is a very budget-friendly pencil, and put it in this pencil sharpener, it would be very, very hard to turn this lever here. And if I were to put something like a Prismacolor in here, it would be very easy to turn it. So it helps me to be able to tell the quality of the actual pencil. And I do also like to test it in the jar link because I know a lot of you do still have this pencil sharpener and I want to see how the pencils sharpen. So let's go ahead and test these pencils on the doll first. I'm going to grab my red violet again. Now most of you probably know how the doll works. I know a lot of you have this pencil sharpener, but you push this button, pull out the front, and you insert the pencil. I'm going to go ahead and turn this. Oh wow, and it is pretty easy to turn. And here is what the lead of the pencil looks like now. Really nice sharp lead, and the pencil did sharpen very nicely. Let's go ahead and grab another color. This one is super pretty. It's like a light purple, and we are going to test this one in the jar link. Now this jar link is fabulous because you can put many different sizes of pencils in here. It does work with every single pencil set that I do have, but let's go ahead and push down. And it stops right when it's done sharpening. That is what our newly sharpened lead looks like. Look how beautiful that is. I can't wait to swatch this color. It's so pretty. But I'll show you what these look like next to each other, because I know a lot of you are always worried about the pencil sharpeners and how much they are going to sharpen off your pencil, like for instance an electric pencil sharpener, and whether or not it's just going to eat your pencil up. And I can assure you that the jar link does not. Like I said, it is no longer available, and I am currently looking for a replacement that I can recommend to all of you. But you can see that this one was in the doll, this one was in the jar link, and they are actually very similar. Now I am going to cut off the camera for a little bit. I'm going to go through and use my jar link to sharpen every one of these pencils, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to swatch out all of the colors. So I went ahead and grabbed the swatch chart that comes with the OHUHU set of pencils. I actually think it's really wonderful that they add their own swatch chart in here with all of the numbers and the names already printed out on here. It makes it so much easier to just grab your pencils and start swatching. And then your swatch chart just goes right back into the tin, and you can keep it there rather than having to keep it in the binder with all of your other swatch charts. I have so many swatch charts for so many different sets of pencils, so this makes it pretty convenient. And then if you were to take all of your pencils out of the tin and then put them into a colored pencil case, you can always attach this right to the case, slide it inside. You could even tape it to the front or one of the sides if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and get to swatching. This first color is called Desert Yellow. Really pretty, very light yellow. This next one says L Lemon Yellow, so I think that probably means light lemon yellow, possibly. And that one is right here. I wonder what kind of order these are going to be in. So that one's a little bit darker than this one. Really pretty color. Okay, that is light lemon yellow because lemon yellow is right here, so that's the next one. So it looks like we're going to be going down instead of across. Then we have dark cadmium yellow. These are really pretty colors, and the color is going down really nicely onto the swatch chart. Now this swatch chart is a bit smoother. It doesn't have a whole lot of tooth. The next one is yellow brown. This one is saffron. This is an orangey yellow, really pretty. Next is apricot red, bright tangerine. That's a pretty color. Next we have persimmon, another really pretty orange. Then light red, and this actually looks like much more of an orange. Oh, it's like a reddish orange. And then watermelon, and it does actually look like a watermelon. Very pretty color. Goose crown red. This one is a little bit darker than the watermelon. Looks like it has the same undertone. This one is called Geranium Lake. Light vermilion. So I think I am going to swatch all of these out on here. I'm going to use this one to keep inside with the tin, or if I put them in a pencil case. This one is called Geranium Red. And then I'm probably going to swatch these out again on one of my swatch charts that I made, just because it'll be nice to have it in two places. And usually when I swatch out my pencils, this one is called Carmine, but usually when I swatch out any of my pencils, I like to do light, medium, and then dark. And these boxes are rather small to be able to do that. I just like to see how light and how dark my pencils can get depending on how many layers I lay down. This one is called Lavender Aroma. It looks like a very light pink, really pretty pastel pink. We do have a couple pinks here. This one is just pink. Another really pretty pink, a little bit darker than the previous one. Now that I have this pink up against this pink, this one does have a lavender tone to it. Then we have light rose, and this one is a little bit darker than the previous one again. Very pretty color though. And then we're gonna have another pink, and this one, what? Oh, I'm confused now. This one's called Peach. Definitely not a peach. Oh my goodness. This one's more of a darker pink. Then we have Brilliant Magenta. Now we're getting into the pinky purples, I think. Next is Red Violet. I think this one says Cymbidium. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But this is that color that I really wanted to see what it looked like swatched out. It's a very pale, pale purple. Oh, that is so different. You could hardly see it. Let me hold it up closer just so you can see, but that's a pretty color. I don't know that we have a color like that in any one of my other pencil sets that I have. Next is Lavender. Then we have Fuchsia Blue, and this one to me still looks like a purple. Probably why we have that word fuchsia in there. Although they're calling a pink a peach, so I don't know. But that's a pretty color. It actually is the same undertone as this lavender one, just a little bit darker than this one. And then we have Dark Violet. But these pencils are going down really nicely. They're layering really nice. This one is Blue Violet. And they did say that they were an oil-based pencil. So I'm assuming that they are going to layer better than they are going to blend. We are going to do a blend test. So this way we could see how they lay down and how well they blend. This one is called Ice Blue. Oh, we have a pastel blue. My favorite in every colored pencil set is to have a pastel blue. And a lot of them don't have one. This is Seagull Blue. Oh, I love that ice blue. Oh my goodness. And then this one is a little bit darker than that one, but that's a gorgeous color, that ice blue. This one is Deep Sky Blue. Another pretty color. And then it looks like we're getting a little bit darker. And then I just noticed something about this pencil, but I think it's supposed to be cerulean blue, and it actually has an M and says ceruleum blue. So I don't know if they meant to do that, but I'm gonna call it cerulean blue. Now we have Sea Blue. We have Cobalt Blue Greenish. And I don't know that I see much green in here. And then I have Ultramarine, really dark blue, really pretty. This one is Celadon, and the next one is Azure Blue, a little bit darker than the previous. And I broke that lead. Oh, and I got a mess up on my swatch chart when I broke it. That's okay. So that was the finish of the first tray, and now we're moving on to the second tray. And we are starting out with another shade of teal. This one's called Rich Blue Green. That is really pretty. I love how we have different values of each one of the colors. The next one is Yellow Green. And I just broke another one. I probably sharpened these too sharp because a couple of them I made a mistake and put it back in the pencil sharpener after I had already sharpened it. So that's probably my fault. The next one is Lettuce Green, and then Light Green. Oh, that says Bermuda. Light green is up here, and this one is Bermuda. Okay, what's the next one? We have Peppermint. That's a pretty color. We have quite a few greens here. The next one is Dark Jade Green, then Foliage Green. Next is Sycamore, Bamboo Cyan. These are really beautiful shades of green. And then Earth Green Yellowish. Man, look at all the greens we have here. I love it. Permanent Green Olive. In any coloring book, we always have lots of leaves to color, so these greens always come in handy. And I find that with most colored pencil sets, a lot of them have several greens. There's so many different shades of green you can create. Moss Green. And then dark green, Now we have a really pretty color called Cinnamon. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that. So we're getting into the browns and the more beigey colors. This one is tan. This one is dark brown ochre. Next is dark brown. Bistre, I think I'm saying that right. Another brown. I really love this one called dark brown. I mean, it doesn't really look like a super dark brown, but that's a pretty color. I'm noticing a lot of these colors are pretty pastel looking, which I really love. Light blush, super, super light color. Kind of like a peachy color, I think. And then this next one is called Beauty Bush. What did I do with the Van Dyke brown? I'm missing one down there. Here's the Van Dyke brown. I skipped right over it. So here's our darker brown. Always have to have a dark brown. That's pretty. And then the next one is going to be light flesh. And then this color is called English Rose. So I feel like a lot of these here can be used for skin tones. Just all of this section would be really great skin tone colors. And then maybe this one too. This is Ivory. Oh, this would be nice for highlights on skin tones. That's a pretty color. And then Mongoose. And I think now we're getting into the grays. So we have French Gray is our first one. This one is called Silver Fish. And that definitely looks like a silvery gray. Look how pretty that is. I really like that color. I wonder how that's going to compare to the actual silver pencil. This one is called Pale Brown Gray. So that one's a bit darker. And now we're going even darker. This one is a warm gray. Then we have a deep warm gray. Then we have Payne's Gray. This is also a warmer gray. Much darker though. Very pretty. And now we have our black. Okay, so now we're going to have our gold, our silver, and our white. So here's the gold. That's a very pretty gold. And then we have our silver. Now I really wanted to see how this silver compares. Oh, it's a bit darker. It's a bit darker than the silver fish, but that silver fish really does look very silvery. So I'll hold it close so you can see the comparison of the two. So here we have the silver fish, and then here we have the actual silver. So it's quite a bit darker. And then of course we have the white. I don't know what the sense is in swatching that out because you probably really can't see it, but I know it's there and I could actually see it. But here are the colors all swatched out. Very pretty colors. I absolutely love them. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Remember, this is a 72 set. It's not 120 or 150. So you really need to take a look at the color selection that you do get and how many you get with each color family. Because with a 72 set, I feel like that's really important because you really don't have as many pencils as you would have in a bigger set. So as far as yellows, we do get quite a few yellows. I feel like this set is very balanced just looking at it as far as the color families go. So what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellows. We've got some brighter yellows, really pretty. Then we get into our yellow oranges as we get into our more orangey tones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 oranges. This one's called light red, but it seems like it has a lot more orange in it. This watermelon color is absolutely beautiful and very different. And then we have a red, and then here we have another red. So for those of you that don't know, reds are really hard to find in a lot of sets, like a real true red. And I feel like this is a really good red, this Geranium Lake. I feel like this Goose Crown red is a really pretty red too. And then we have this red here and the Carmine. And I think we do have a really good selection for just a set of 72 because you can get a much bigger set of pencils and not even see that many reds. I think this light vermilion though, that one does have a lot more orange in it. That's more like a reddish orange. As far as our selections of reds, I think we're good. I think they did really well with this set. And we do have quite a few pinks for a set of 72. And they all have different undertones, so that's really great. Then we've got our purpley pinks, we've got a red violet, and a brilliant magenta. This color here, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, Cibidium. This is a gorgeous color. It's like a light, very light pale grayish lavender. It's absolutely beautiful. Then you have your lavender, which is a really pretty shade of purple. And then we've got this fuchsia blue, which still looks very purple to me, and then dark violet, and then we have a blue violet, and this is a really good description of blue violet. It's right in the middle of blue and purple. And then this color here, this ice blue, this is my absolute favorite. I love this color. It is so pretty. I love having light blues in my budget sets. And then seagull blue, which is really pretty. So we do get quite a few blues that have green in them. We've got our regular blues. Of course, I've got, again, my light blue. And then we have an ultramarine, which is a very dark blue. But you get a really good selection. The celadon, the azure blue, and the rich blue green. All of those that are blue greens, which I absolutely love. And then we get into our greens. And look at all of these greens we get. So this is just like it is with a lot of colored pencil sets. You usually get a lot of greens because you can create so many different shades of green. You can create yellow greens, you can create brown greens, blue greens, so many different types of green. So we've got our yellow green here, which of course has a lot of yellow in it. Lettuce green is like a really pale, kind of like a minty green. Bermuda, this is another really pretty green. Light green, peppermint, that is super pretty, definitely fits the name. Dark jade green, foliage green, that definitely fits its name too. I can see that on some really beautiful leaves in Johanna Basford's coloring books. And then we have more Olivier greens down here. Really pretty ones, a moss green, and then we have this dark green, which is really pretty. And then we have this gorgeous color called cinnamon. I really love that one. And like I said earlier in the video, I feel like this whole section here would be really great for your skin tones. Combining a lot of them would make perfect skin tones in your coloring books if you're working on portraits. But you've got tan, we've got quite a few browns. This brown that's called dark brown, it's not necessarily a dark brown, but it's very, very pretty. And then here is our dark brown, they're calling Van Dyke brown. Always need to have a dark brown in a colored pencil set. I use my dark browns so much. And then we have our more blushy colors. This is very much like a light peach. It's called light flesh. And then an ivory. This will be great, like I said, when I was swatching for all of your highlights in your skin tones. And then mongoose, French gray. And then the silverfish is very, very pretty. And then we have quite a few warm grays. Actually, this here is a cool gray. And then we've got 3 warm grays, a black, a gold, a silver, and a white. And one of the things I think is really cool about this set is you've got this color called silver fish, and then you have this silver, and the silver fish is with the grays, but it does have a very shiny, like silvery tone to it, which is really, really pretty. I showed them to you a lot closer a little bit earlier, but I love having the 2 of these in this set. So I really love the selection of colors. I think we have a really good balance of more pastel-y or lighter colors and the mid-tones and the darker tones. I love that we have quite a few pinks because pinks are one of my favorites, and I absolutely love that I have a light blue in this set. I'm so excited about that. I think this is a really great set, and I think you'll be really happy with the color variety. So let's go ahead and move on and do a blend test. So I grabbed a sheet of the Spring Hill paper so that we could test these pencils, see how well they blend, how well they layer, and all of that. As you can see, I did already choose my colors. I have permanent green olive, which is right here. And then my mid-tone, I'm using bamboo cyan, and then for my lightest color, I'm using yellow green. I think those will look really pretty together. So I want to see how these layer since they are oil-based. I'm gonna lay my first layer in the lightest color. I'm gonna make it pretty long. Then I'm going to grab my mid-tone and I'm going to go right over this color to create a blend of those two colors and come almost all the way down, leaving a little bit of space where I have that lightest color. And they layered really well. So let me go ahead and grab the darkest color and I'm going to come right over the top of these other two colors and just come down a little bit and pull up as I get into that mid-tone. But look how pretty, and they blended really well, they layered really well. I love the combination of colors. Really, really pretty. So let me lay a little bit more of my lightest color. Oh, and look how that is darkening up. Oh, wow. These are laying down really nicely. Now let me grab my mid-tone and I'm going to come up this way and lay a little bit more of this down, and I'm going to go right into this darkest color. I'm doing this a little bit different than I usually do, but I'm trying to see the combination of colors and how they layer since they are oil-based, and just the color that it creates once you lay color over color over color. So let me go ahead and grab my darker color and let's lay another layer here. So here on the top part where I have my darkest color, we've got like maybe 4 layers now up here. And this is getting even darker and it looks really nice. And I'm just going to pull that down into my mid-tone. Now I'm going to grab the mid-tone and go right over it, blend it out and pull it down a little bit further. And then I want a little bit more of my lightest color and I'm going to blend it right into that mid-tone and pull it down. But I feel like we got a super nice blend. How about we go the other direction? I'm going to turn my paper a little bit here. And I'm going to go the other direction and try to fill in some of that white space. Oh, and look at that, it's getting even darker now. So let's go ahead and pull that down into the mid-tone. Oh, these are laying down really nicely. They're layering nicely. The colors are blending together beautifully. And look, still more colors going down, covering that white of the paper. Now let's grab the lightest color and go this direction as well. And look at that, it's darkening it up even more. And we'll go back again with another layer of the darker color and the mid-tone. And then again, the lighter color. And this lighter color is still laying down, but again, we didn't have as many layers in that area as we did up towards the top. But I'll hold it a little closer just so you could see the blend of the colors and the transitions. I think it did really, really nicely. I don't think you can really see a huge transition here at all. I think the blend is really, really nice. The colors layered really nicely, one color on top of another. But I think they passed the blend test. I think they did really, really well. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really do love these pencils. I'm so excited that OHUHU has come out with their own line of pencils. If you are interested in grabbing these for yourself, I will have all the links where you can purchase them down in the description box below. I hope that y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.